Hello, Sonoma County. Welcome back to our channel. Now, have you heard about those coveted fixer off-market properties that are always a deal of a lifetime? How do those come to be? And even if you're a seller, is that the right move for you? We have a whole story to share about one of our recent sellers making the right move based on her scenario, selling off-market, having a super successful transaction, and exactly how we made it happen from start to finish. Stick around. But first, I'm Morgan Devin-Tenzi with Sullivan Group Real Estate, and we help people move into, out of, and all around Sonoma County every single year. So if you're thinking about making your move, trying to figure out what the best options are for you, maybe you have a house to sell, maybe it needs a little work, maybe you're looking for a fixer, tune in. This is going to be a great opportunity for you to learn about those off-market properties. When it comes to selling a home, it is so important to recognize that no two home sales are exactly the same. Every seller situation is different. Every property scenario is a little different based on the size, location, condition, and so on. So it's important to work with a team like ours that takes a unique and specific approach to each property when we have the opportunity to list it. And it's crucial that you work with somebody that really listens to your needs based on what your goals are and what your abilities are in that listing process. Are you able to fix up your property? Are you able to handle getting in and out of the house okay for showings? There's definitely more than one way to sell a home and still make it a success. And our team is very experienced in the array of opportunities that there are in this market based on the properties that we've helped with in the past, our local connections as far as vendors and community, investors, and other agents as well. Here's a little backstory on the recent sale that we had that was a super successful off-market sale, just to give you a little bit of an example as to why someone might make this decision. This homeowner had lived in the home for 30 plus years. A lot of time, energy, love was invested into that property, but life changes. I think we all know that. Life absolutely changes, and health had taken a turn, finances had maybe taken a turn, overwhelm, lack of support to get the property back in well-maintained order. And when it really came down to it, it just didn't quite make sense to keep holding on to that property. So fast forward, I had been connected with this homeowner for a little bit of time at this point, knew they were going to be moving towards selling and downsizing and simplifying, but weren't quite ready when we initially got connected. I followed up, stayed in touch, always offered support as, things would evolve, and happened to reach out earlier this year. And they told me that they received an offer on the house, which I was kind of surprised, but also excited to hear for them if that was, the timing they felt was right. And turned out to be a cash investor offering way below market value. And I just really strongly urged her, please wait. Please do not sign anything. Do not accept anything. Please let me come and take a look at your home up close in person. I will give you my honest opinion if I think you should take this offer for the ease of the transaction, if we should open up the opportunity to a few more buyers, or even essentially take it to market. Her property needed quite a bit of, maintenance updating. There was a lot of deferred maintenance on the property. She had lived there for 30 plus years. There was a lot of personal belongings in the property. There were some projects that were started and unfinished on the property. So it was definitely a situation that taking it to market was going to be too much to ask in this specific scenario. So we took it to an off-market sale. Now, before I get to the point of telling you how we wrapped this all up and made it a success for our client, I'm going to tell you a couple of different strategies that we use to help get to the finish line and find a really excited buyer and have a much happier home seller. First and foremost is quite simply a personalized strategy with this home seller. We knew her specific scenario. We knew exactly what her goal was, and it was our job to put the strategy together to make that happen based on privacy, financials, time, and ability to invest into the property. And we crafted a plan together that made her feel really confident and comfortable, and something that we knew we could achieve on her behalf. Next came targeted marketing. while the property was off market, so it may not have been input to the MLS, you would not have found it on Zillow or Realtor.com. We do have a large network of opportunities to still get the word out within those different spheres. We have a ton of local agents and colleagues that we work with regularly that we share these opportunities with. We have a wide number of investors, local and outside of the area, that look for opportunities like this if it's the right fit. We also have other vendors and a huge buyer pool. Many of you may be watching this video, people who are always on the lookout for the next opportunity or for the next way to get their foot into the door on a nice property here in Sonoma County. So we're able to leverage that and get the property out in front of a wide variety of people while still respecting the privacy of our client. Next up is the factor of privacy and control. The seller at all times was in control of this listing. The private interior photos of the property were not blasted all over the internet while they were still living in the home. The off-market property was only shown when I was present to help the different investors or agents through the property, give them all the pertinent information, and we made sure that only the people that were viewing the property were motivated, ready, and able buyers. A huge opportunity in scenarios like this. Finding those serious buyers. In a competitive market like we've had here in Sonoma County, it's tough for buyers to find the right opportunity, and when they do find the right opportunity, man, are they motivated. And so having an off-market listing and getting it out within the different spheres and networks that we have access to, we knew we would be able to find one or a handful of motivated buyers that would know the opportunity that was presented to them and want to swiftly take action on that. And lastly, the flexibility of timing. Because we're not on market, we are not necessarily under the gun of having to perform within a certain amount of time. There's a little bit of negotiability that is enhanced in these off-market sales. The buyers oftentimes understand because it's an off-market sale, the seller's looking for a much smoother process. Maybe they need a little extra time to get out of the property. Maybe the buyer will need a little extra time for financing because inspections weren't done up front. You know, every scenario is a little bit different, but having that flexibility of timeline for the owner of an off-market property actually lends an advantage to both the buyer and the seller. So by leveraging both traditional and more innovative marketing approaches with these off-market sales, we know that your property is still going to have a lot of exposure to the right groups of clients while respecting your privacy and your ability to slowly move forward in a manner that makes sense to you. Okay, so now that we've kind of explained how these off-market sales work, what the advantages are, and what you can kind of expect, this is exactly what we did for these sellers. So how it all worked out. Drum roll, please. Within a few short weeks of being in contact with the seller again, helping her manage, the reality of this really low cash offer and understand that it was not actually at her advantage to accept something like this. And it might be a more beneficial opportunity to put out some more feelers locally and see if there's other opportunities of folks that may be interested in a property like hers. Sure enough, we knew exactly what we were doing, and we helped get the property out into our different networks. We had 6 different, very motivated buyer parties come and physically see the property, do walkthroughs, ask questions, investigate the property a bit. We received 3 strong offers, well above this random cash offer that was kind of thrown at the seller originally before we all got involved. Between the 3 offers, they were all similar yet different at the same time. There's always the price, the terms, and the timeline that are important to look at as a seller when you're accepting an offer. And as much as price is important, those terms and the timeline can be just as important, and we like to educate that with our client. Luckily, in this case, the best price, the best terms, and the best timeline came wrapped up in one offer. We were able to help the buyers navigate the property and investigate what they needed to know about the property for their lending purposes. We helped the seller button up a few items so the buyers could get their lending approval. And sure enough, we were closed on the property, and the seller ended up netting almost $100,000 more than she would have walked away with this random cash offer that she somehow ended up with. So an off-market sale does not necessarily mean you're leaving money on the table. In fact, it sometimes means that you have a more streamlined opportunity to find the right buyers, have a more smooth transaction process, and walk away from the home with a little less headache. Now, we don't advise it on every property. There's plenty of homes out there that would do extremely well being listed live on market, get as much exposure as possible, but every scenario is different. And so if you're thinking of selling, you're trying to figure out what the best opportunity is to get your home on market, make a sale, off market, do you list it live, do you have privacy concerns? Let's talk through that and figure out the best opportunity for you. We'll get your home sold and get you moving into your next property just like that. My information's here on the screen. We can't wait to help you. If you liked this video, please click that like button. You can leave a comment down below. Have you ever dealt with an off-market property? Are you looking for off-market properties? Thinking about selling off-market? Let's talk about it. Don't forget to hit that subscribe button so you'll be notified when we release all new videos every week here at Hello Sonoma County, and we appreciate you tuning in. Have a great day.